Everybody, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. It's scoring the players time as Newcastle United are through to the semi-finals. Yes, that is right. Newcastle United. Bring your scarf. Well, the team brought everything today because Newcastle United are through. Carl's in the background. Oh, yes.
Carry on.
You can hear us in the background. Everyone's bringing the scarves and everything. It's amazing. It's scoring the players time. I've got Liam. I've got Lee. And we've got Mark. Welcome, Mark.
Hello, first time to the office. Exciting stuff.
Yes, it's scoring the players.
It's everything I thought it would be and more.
It definitely is. Lee, let's start with Nick Pope in the middle of our goal. I wouldn't say it was a quiet night for him, but he didn't really have many shots to save. I know that sounds stupid because Vardy should have scored 2 in the second half.
Vardy was getting some stick off the fans, but his misses. But yeah, he had absolute 2 sitters, especially the first one. I didn't think Nick Pope saves if he gets it on target, but really Nick Pope was just having a lot of, I say a lot, no, the odd crosses where he was coming to collect and throwing it out. He did have one bad throw, didn't he, towards Trippier in the first half, but look, he wasn't tested, was he? And I expected more from Leicester, so I'll go 7. And that's probably one of the lowest scores because I didn't think he had much to do.
He didn't really have a lot to do. Vardy's still missing sitters and Carl's being a nuisance in the back.
It's all right. The mics can't pick that up. We're fine.
We're all right. But yeah, look, Nick Pope hasn't had barely anything to do. We've probably said that so many times this season, but again, it's just fantastic.
Am I right in thinking that that was a record set tonight? 7 consecutive clean sheets.
Yeah, that's a really good
so
the history. He's got the most consecutive clean sheets in history.
That's incredible. Mark, let's continue.
Club's history.
With He's from Blythe. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. What a
He's from Blythe.
I've been given a very easy one to do, I think.
Yeah, what a debut for you. Dan Burn gets his first goal.
Nice easy one. Incredible performance by Dan Burn today. I think as Newcastle fans, we're all absolutely delighted that he finally got his first goal. I think he was talking about it quite a lot in the media. He was on Sky Sports talking about his first goal and how he was hoping it's going to come very soon. And for it to come along today, I was absolutely delighted. Me and Carl had a lot of fun jumping around to that one. So no, didn't put a foot wrong. And you know, moving forward, you know, I think that tonight he really demonstrated that that the left back position is a position that he can play. Despite what people said last week, I think that he did struggle a little bit against Saka. But I thought he was absolutely outstanding tonight. The goal, brilliant. 9 for me for Sir Dan of Bern. Fantastic.
Sir Dan of Bern. We're already getting Sir.
Sounds like a Game of Thrones title or something, doesn't it?
I'm eliminating 0.5s today. I don't believe in them.
I like you, Mark. I do like you,
Was it you that started that, Carl?
No,
it was, wasn't it?
Carl came on the channel and thought I'm going to stamp my authority by putting 0.5s in this channel.
I'd just like to say that there's no need for that attack.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. What a man. What a man. Liam, that's the first centre half. Fabian Schär still hasn't lost for Newcastle this season. The games that we have lost, he's not been involved in. What did you make of him tonight?
Didn't really put a foot wrong, did he? I think his all-round play is just fantastic. From what he was a couple of years ago to what he is now, just all-round man mountain. Him and Botman worked really well together. These passes were very well. He played a lot. Like his passes were brilliant. His defending's brilliant. So I think I'm going to go 8 out of 10 tonight.
Yeah, he was superb. He really, really was. Next to him was Sven Botman. That's what I've got. Sven Botman. Much improved performance from the Sheffield Wednesday game, which wasn't difficult because not many players played particularly well against Sheffield Wednesday. But he was really calm at the back. There was a couple of times where you thought that Leicester were kind of going to get through Newcastle's defence, and he was just in the right space, right place at the back as well, which helps. But I don't think he was really tested. Really, I think obviously that I haven't really seen that Vardy chance back to see who was really at fault with that, because he shouldn't be left unmarked 5-6 yards out to with just Nick Pope to beat. But what did you give Schär? 8?
8.
I'll match you. I'll go 8 for Sven Botman this evening.
That's a question as well, because Mark is a massive Jonathan Woodgate fan.
I thought you were going to say Jonathan Greenwood there.
No, you're not that popular.
The Radiohead member.
Yes, the Radiohead member.
You absolutely adore Jonathan Woodgate.
I do.
Is Sven Botman on the way to going past him is the best centre-back in our era?
I would say so. I mean,
Sorry,
it's a bit of an irrational dislike. Sorry for Jonathan Woodgate, because he did only play 28 games for us, you know. So I just think that he's probably the best I've seen in my lifetime. But I think that Botman really does have all the tools to exceed that completely. He's been outstanding, absolutely outstanding. So he may get that trophy of being the best in my time.
Mark Stockley trophy.
It's amazing. Like, to be fair, the Woodgate Botman debate is something that you'd be interested in. Just leave the mic just for.
No, you pulled me wire out.
Have I pulled you wire out?
He's pulled me wire out, everybody. So if we disappear and don't go,
Don't be blaming me for you pulling wires out again.
Sorry, we're just crossing wires.
Wait.
Hey, I know. Well, I'll put your wire back into your charger, but in a second. But right back, Kieran Trippier. Did he have Harvey Barnes in his pocket tonight?
He did. And I'm actually a big fan of Harvey Barnes as well. It's just his intelligence, Kieran Trippier. He's experienced head. So what, he's 32 now, and he's coming up 33. So he's still going to have a few years left in a Newcastle shirt. And, you know, he could be the first captain to lift a trophy. Well, I say captain, on-field captain. And I'm getting my head in myself here since 1969. But fantastic, you know, he's got that relationship with Miggy, and I think big part of the season why Miggy's blossomed is because, you know, he's actually got a proper defender behind him. So, yeah, I thought he was clever. And obviously second half as well, little things like winning corners, nicking throw-ins and little shoulder barges. It's just the experience. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 for Kieran Trippier.
I think the experience comes from when he's played at the top level, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of Newcastle players still need to learn how to get their little tricks and little flicks.
I think playing under Simeone massively helped his game.
I think he barely put a foot wrong tonight. He really, honestly, I thought he was superb. There was obviously that worry in the start of the second half where he goes down. You think, oh, they were stretching the hamstring out, and I'm thinking, no, that doesn't look great. But look, absolutely incredible signing. You know, just over a year since he signed for the football club, and what a transformation. There's no right back debate anymore. That's the best way it is. It's Kieran Trippier.
Even Warren Barton said that.
Even Warren Barton said that. Yeah, give that a watch on the Green and Mole on the show.
Plug.
Mark, let's move into the midfield. Sean Longstaff got a yellow card, but could have scored a hat trick today. He's a bit unlucky today. I think like Danny Ward's made 2 really, really good saves for him, but he probably should have scored within the first minute. He was everywhere tonight. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that we spoke previously about that chance, particularly in the first half, that he should have put away. On the whole, I think he was fine tonight. I think that Sean gets so much stick most weeks, most games, probably from some of us as well. Unjust?
No, at times I think it is justified. I think that the Longstaff debate is one that rumbles on constantly in our fan base. He has still got a lot of room for improvement. We all know that. There are elements that he can add to his game, but you know he has improved since Howe came in. But who hasn't? If we're perfectly honest. But no, I thought he was absolutely fine tonight. I think he put in the hard work, the graft. I'd probably go 6.5. Joking. I'm not going to go with the 0.5s. I promise. I'll give Longstaff a 7 tonight because he did miss a few chances. He does frustrate at times, but I think he put in a really good shift tonight. I was impressed. I beg your pardon, with his work ethic. So
just at the beginning of the show, there's people giving him a bit of hard time at the beginning of the live chat. But he seems to get it a lot, doesn't he?
He's the scapegoat for everything.
He is a scapegoat, and
so is Chris Wood.
Yeah, look, Chris Wood's a different kettle of fish, if we're being honest, because Sean Longstaff's played pretty much. He's played pretty much every game. He's pretty much started every game, bar maybe the Forest game. They went with Bruno, Joelinton, and Joe Willock, but no, I think it's unjust. I really do.
I don't think he missed the chances. I think they were very good saves. So I think there's a difference between missing and a keeper pulling a worldie off. And I think anyone around this table would be missing that shot. It takes that keeper was probably the 2 best saves he made all game, was Sean Longstaff's two shots.
Yeah, 100%. Someone that did manage to score was Joelinton, Liam, and he put it away really well. It's sometimes you just need to hit the shot straight away if you're Joelinton, because I think if he had time to think about it, he probably misses a chance like that. But great football, great play, and Newcastle wrapped up their semi-final progression with a 2-0 win, and Joelinton's goal was certainly icing on the cake on his performance. I thought he was phenomenal tonight. He really was. Didn't let Leicester breathe at times.
Yeah, Joelinton was just phenomenal, wasn't he? Like, I think he has been the majority of Eddie Howe's reign. Was he centre mid, or was he on the wing, or was he seemed to do a bit of both?
A bit of a floater between both at times, wasn't he?
Yeah,
The new tactic Howe's done. He switches Willock and Joelinton every 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, because obviously he came from the wing to score his goal, and I think he dominated. When he was in midfield, he dominated completely. I don't think he actually put a foot wrong, and he took his goal. Took a goal with some confidence. Obviously, under Steve Bruce, that wouldn't have went in. It would have probably went in the opposite corner flag. But yeah, I think I'm going to go 8, easy 8, maybe even 9 if I'm feeling kind of good.
Are you going 9 or are you going 8? Before Lee puts it in.
9.7.
Before Lee puts it in, eh?
9, we'll put 9 in there to save Lee from crying. There's nearly 300 of you watching, so please hammer the like button. Newcastle are in the semi-finals. Subscribe to the channel as well if you don't mind. That'd be great. Joe Willock's next for me. Joe Willock was getting a lot of plaudits in the Gallagher, I have to be honest, and I echo every single one of those fans because I thought he was really, really good. Lee mentions the fact that they were switching like him and Joelinton at times, but it's just that burst of pace, especially in the first half. There's a couple of times where he just had the beating of Castagna, and I just thought, ooh, I like this Joe Willock when he has that burst of pace, and there was some crosses that just didn't come off in the first half, but he was a nuisance for that second half. He was an absolute nuisance, and that's how pretty much the goal came about for Dan Burn. He was brilliant. He really, really was. Was he as good as Joelinton? No, he wasn't, but a really, really stellar performance by Newcastle's midfield maestro. So I'm going to go 8 out of 10 for Joe Willock this evening. The man that got man of the match by Sky.
I'm pleased to give me Bruno. It's not often I get Bruno.
To be fair, it should be the Sky employee that decides what Bruno should get, considering it was Sky that gave him man of the match. So Lee, why was Bruno man of the match? And what would you give him today?
Yes, I am. I work for that company, but there's also freelance Mr. Mulliner who works for Sky, doesn't he? Hey.
No comment.
Brilliant. Him again. I thought Tielemans was probably Leicester's best player, but I still think,
ironic, isn't it?
Ironically, yeah, and we're heavily linked to him. But I think Bruno got the better of him. I thought Bruno was, and I wouldn't say he's been missing the last few games. He's been a little bit quieter than recently because before today we only scored 1 and 3. I thought he dominated. I'm going to give him score a 9 out of 10. I think he's a contender for man of the match. Just everything he was doing, his flicks, his tricks. I was waiting for the moment we had a throw and he went, I was waiting for that moment. He didn't do that tonight, which disappointed us.
He did. So he did. When we got
did he? I didn't see that.
Corner, which was right next to you in the strawberry corner.
I didn't see it.
Didn't realise he was King Kong, like, whatever.
He is King Kong. I love his passion just for throwing. He gets wild. But not just that, we've got a player on our hands, man. And there's, we were in the back page before, me, Carl, and Mark, and there's like Brazil flags and all this sorts of Brazil flags. Brazilian. I know, but
English though.
You've got Newcastle United and Brazil, like a half and half Newcastle and Brazil flags and scarves and all this, and we haven't had many Brazilians over the years. I think it's 5 or 6 in the history. But what a player we've got, and he should have played a lot more in the World Cup, and I think he will going forward under their new manager. So he was sensational, and I dominated 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 for Bruno. Bruno's pass towards Isak towards the end of Isak's match sharp. Now that is very, very interesting. Get your comments on Bruno. Was he your man of the match tonight? Let us know. Decide who the man of the match is at the end.
Bruno even had ref in the pocket. Now the ref fell out.
Yeah, didn't he take out Harvey Barnes or something?
Yeah, he took
that was brilliant.
I didn't know which one it was.
But to be fair, how many times did Bruno get fouled and Leicester player didn't get booked? That was really irritating tonight. Mark, you haven't really watched Bruno in the flesh too much. It's safe to say. Why is he that added difference for Newcastle United?
He's just a superstar, an absolute superstar. I think that we knew what sort of player we were getting. We were very excited, but I just think that his just continued to exceed expectations. He's just a different class. I think that he's come in, and not only is he a tremendous footballer, but again, attitude spot on. He seems to be loved in the dressing room and by the fans. So I just think that his added more stability and footballing ability is just a different class, absolutely different class.
Question: is he future captain of Newcastle United?
No,
Why?
I just don't think you need to put that necessary pressure on him because he's not a Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier can do that.
Well, if you see how long term,
I think Joelinton's more of a captain than Bruno.
Do you?
Tell us in the comments who's more of a captain, Joelinton or Bruno Guimarães, future captain potentially if Kieran Trippier's injured. Let's move on to Miggy Almirón.
Oh, go on, give it Liam.
You've got to give it to Margaret in the queue.
Hey, Liam, I want you to take this one. I've been desperate that you talk about me.
Mark, I'll give you Miggy Almirón because then I'll ask Liam a question about him in a second. An assist tonight.
Yeah.
He had Leicester's fullback all over the
On
place.
Toast, didn't he?
All over the place in the first half.
From the first couple of minutes, obviously he went on that good looking little run. It's just the performance that we're expecting from Miggy now. What a transformation. He's been incredible this season. It's just a typical Almirón performance for me.
Was the only thing missing was a goal from him tonight? Do you think?
I would say so. Yeah, I think he looked very dangerous again. He continues to link up well down the right hand side. Creates a lot. His work ethic as well, just incredible. Happy to see him get us an assist, but yeah, probably just a goal missing from his performance tonight. I thought he was outstanding. I will give Almirón an 8 myself.
Liam, it's safe to say you and Miggy have had an interesting relationship over the last couple of years. I think the question I want to ask you is that: are you pleased that there is actually a player from inside Miggy Almirón? Because it was screaming out. It was just whether we could get the best out of him. And Eddie Howe certainly has got the best out of him since he's been here. Last maybe 6-7 months in particular.
Yeah, I think from day one, everyone's seen there was a player there. I think it was just that he just never produced it. I think going back to his very first game against Huddersfield, if he scored that goal that hit the
100%.
crossbar or the post or whatever it was, he would have been the player that we're seeing now. I think under Steve Bruce he was hammered. I think most players were.
He's fucking playing him centre midfield and left back and shit.
Yeah. But obviously, if you've got 1,000 games of management, you know what you're doing, supposedly, whatever. That's a different conversation for a different day. But I think everyone's just buzzing that he's starting to do the end product because obviously he puts the work rate in and now he's starting to add goals and he's even starting to add assists, which is, if you don't score your assist, it's just as good.
Certainly is. Continue, Liam, with Callum Wilson. I wouldn't say he was quiet, but he is a difference. I think it's his all-round game, Callum Wilson, that I think Newcastle fans appreciate more than anything. I know when he gets the goals, that's what he gets paid for, but he didn't have to score tonight. I can't really remember him having any chances. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but he didn't really need to. It was just those chances coming from Willock, Joelinton, Almirón, Longstaff we've mentioned. So maybe a quieter night in terms in front of goal, but he's so valuable for Newcastle.
Yeah, Callum Wilson, I'll go on in a second about him. He uses his body very well. Like he'll back into players or he'll try and barge them slightly to try and win free kicks. He knows how to use his body to win a free kick. But I didn't think he was risking sprinting as much today for certain balls that seemed like they were like not dead ends, but I don't think he was pulling in the full effort today. And I don't know whether that was just because it's a cup game. But I think they might have told him if it looks like it's his dead ball, just don't bother chasing it because we need you for the rest of the season.
It's fair enough, isn't it? What would you give him mark-wise?
Mark-wise, 8. I don't think he was not as poor as Longstaff. It's probably a long way, but I think he was around about.
I think it's generous, me.
Why? Why do you think he's generous?
I think he was quieter. I think I think he wasn't full guns blazing. I think he's probably been told by Eddie, look, you're going to play 70 minutes, 75 minutes, assuming we're in a controlling position. But a lot of the stuff is, I agree with what you're saying, Liam. Off the ball stuff he's really good at. I don't think that second goal has happened without his movement. To allow that to happen, which a lot of people don't. You don't see it on camera, you can see it in the stadium. So, but apart from that, he didn't have any chances. I'll probably knock him down a peg, but it's Liam's score.
Yeah, it is Liam's score. Tell him if he's right or wrong in the comments. The first substitution for Newcastle was Alexander Isak. How good was it to see him back at St James's Park? Could have scored 2 against Sheffield Wednesday in that first half. And look, there was one moment in particular where he could do something that Chris Wood couldn't. He literally grabbed the ball.
What run?
Grabbed the ball. He grabbed the ball literally pretty much in his own half and took it to the other side of the goal and won a corner and relieved a little bit of pressure for Newcastle United.
Forget how fast he is.
You do forget how fast he is, but do you know what? Bruno's pass and Isak coming towards it. Oh, I tell you what, if he was a quarter of a yard quicker, he was getting there before Ward, either getting a penalty or putting it in an empty net when he takes it round him. But more of that. Just about give him a score because he was pretty much, I think he was on for about 15, 20 minutes. So I'll give him a 6 because obviously he only played 15, 20 minutes, but I will love to see more of Alexander Isak if he can keep himself fit. Like Eddie Howe says, I know people used to hate that phrase, it's like a new signing. Unfortunately, it is like a new signing because we've not seen a lot of him. But look, I like what I do see from him, which is more important. Alan Saint-Maximin and Jacob Murphy both came on, but they're both going to get non-applicable. Alan Saint-Maximin got 7 minutes plus injury time. Jacob Murphy got less. And
Can I point out something about ESM? You notice he wasn't doing as many tricks and flicks. He just got the ball, whip it in.
I was going to say that, yeah.
He's pointing that
a
out
couple of times, yeah.
Two of them in class. So as soon as he got the ball, he's thinking, right, I'm going to whip this in. He's been told that, he's been told that. Yeah, I do. Because I said that all season, and when Chris Wood plays, he may as well play with 10 men. Not because of Chris Wood, with ESM and his link up, it's not there.
Do you go on, Liam?
I think at certain points he needs to do his trickery to get the fans geared up. But I think he's got to do it at the right times. Like, I think he could have done some flicks and tricks tonight if he really wanted to, because obviously we're 2-0 up when he came on. So I think he's just got to pick his moments.
Before we talk about Eddie Howe, Mark, do you think it was a case with Alan Saint-Maximin, Eddie Howe probably telling him, just you only need to beat the man once. You don't need to beat him 5 times?
Yeah, well, I mean, as Lee says, I noticed exactly the same. A slightly different cameo from ASM tonight. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion over his future and potential fallouts and whatnot. So it was good to see him back in the squad first and foremost. But yeah, I think that if we're going to see sort of like this side of a very talented player that can do the basics and like we said, 2 incredible deliveries today. It's obviously something he's working on, and I think that's something we benefit from hugely if we can get him consistent. Got to keep him for me. Got to keep him.
Yeah, hopefully we will do, because we'd like to see a fully fit Alan Saint-Maximin and the form of his life. That would be even better. But yeah, definitely want to see Saint-Maximin stay at Newcastle United. There's nearly 400 of you watching live right now, so please hammer the like button. Please subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. We're in the semi-finals.
I get that if we hit Wembley.
Exactly. And the man who will be taking us to Wembley,
The bus driver.
I thought you were going to look at me. The camper van drivers over there.
the camper van drivers over there, is Eddie Howe. Lee, start things off with Eddie Howe. So we'll all try and agree on the score with this one. Got the team right. Got the tactics right. Brought the substitutes at the right time. Newcastle in the semi-finals. Did he do anything wrong?
Got everything spot on. William got 10 out of 10. Gone straight in with it. 10 out of 10 for me. I know we've all got to agree with it, but the only thing I can say negatively is only if Vardy put them chances, especially the first one away. It might be in a different nervy end to the game, but everything else, it was too easy, and it was really.
That Eddie Howe's fault though?
No, but that's the only blemish on it. That's why if someone tries to counter that, tries to counter that in the comments, it was spot on. 10 out of 10. It's like the place was up for it. I was just shocked that it was too easy.
Do you think it was a case that 2-0 flattered Leicester tonight?
It could have been a lot more. It was too easy. It was like we were playing like a non-league side and they just come for the day out. It was just too easy. It was like, where's Leicester's fight? And if you're a Leicester fan, it's like, Christ almighty, where's your season? Hadn't you you're hanging around mid-table? You haven't really gotten out to play for. So it's phenomenal. All the players were back for it. It was the starting lineup. My only gripe is I kind of grumble against that tonight because I don't like Joelinton out wide. But ESM for me needs to come in longer in the season, but you got a spot on. I kind of 10 out of 10.
Mark, do you agree with Lee's rating? And if you do, tell me why.
I do. Again, with the starting lineup today, the only change that I would have made prior to kickoff would have been Joelinton in the middle and ASM out on the left. But look how well Joelinton played tonight. He loves a game against Leicester, and I know he's been criticised for playing out wide, but again, he was effective. So I know that he was switching position, but he was outstanding. So it goes to show why I didn't pick the team. But yeah, I do. I think the lineup was spot on. The tactics and the substitutions all at the right time. It all came together, and I do think that the scoreline does flatter Leicester. Quite frankly, I thought that they were very ordinary. And apart from those Vardy chances, I can't really remember too many times where I was too worried. So, yeah, spot on for me. 10 out of 10. Perfect night for him.
Yeah, it was a perfect night from Liam. Eddie Howe's the first Newcastle manager to take Newcastle United into the League Cup semi-final since 1976. Now, that seems like...
Who was the manager back then?
God knows.
Was Gordon Lee?
Maybe. Tell us in the comments if you know. Lee was just, how old are you? 4 or 5?
Still had another 9 years before I was another 9 years before I was popped out.
Where was Sam Milner when you need him? Because he would have known this. He was what, 3 or 4 when he something like that. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for Eddie Howe for Liam Mark. Liam, did he do anything wrong tactically today? Because I don't think Brendan Rodgers really had the answers to any of his questions, really.
He done everything spot on. I think the only thing is that I think the first half both teams are very nervous, and I think the more you play in these sort of big games, the more you're going to enjoy it and realize it's just another game. I think. But speaking about Eddie Howe, they were spot on. The team was spot on. I think even picking Willock and Joelinton with the positions where was spot on, because you don't want to change a winning team, and I haven't been beaten the league since Liverpool, so I would say that arguably is his most dominant team, because you can switch Joe Willock and Joelinton if they're having an off spell in the part of the game, which mixes things up because they've both got different style of play. I think Joelinton's a bit more direct some of the times, and Willock's got deceptive pace where you don't realise how quick he is until he's past you. Yeah,
he certainly does. I love that about Willock with the deceptive pace. He really does frighten a lot of fullbacks in particular when he gets brought out on that left-hand side. Eddie Howe, for me, 10 out of 10. I think the headlines would be, look, first Newcastle managed to get us to a semi-final of the Cup competition since 2005, which was Graham Souness. I think the big thing for me is that a lot of Newcastle fans leaving Sheffield Wednesday wanted a reaction, and the only thing that he could do tonight was win, because I think Newcastle fans were expecting a win tonight. Not saying that Leicester are poor opposition or anything like that, but I think at home against a team like Leicester, who are obviously they're not the Leicester of the last couple of years, that was a pressure in itself. And Newcastle fans coming out Sheffield Wednesday saying, "Look, I'll forgive this result if we beat Leicester. We've beaten Leicester and we've beaten them convincingly."
Sean, great character. Because remember, Johnny, you were raging, I was raging. We tried Sheffield Wednesday on the weekend. We knew this was the bigger game tonight.
It was, of course,
it could quite easily, if we went out tonight, that would have been no winning 4. We're out both cup competitions in a matter of a few days. And yes, we've got the league to look forward, but there would have been a massive, massive negativity. Probably the first time for Eddie Howe in over a year since Cambridge.
Yeah. Like I say, that was probably the only thing, but he's standing up to this pressure of big cup games, and there's going to be even bigger cup games now because we're in the semi-final.
I think it also helps to try and attract a player. Like, you've got a club in the semi-final.
Yuri Tielemans.
We'll show you some bridges.
Yuri Tielemans, for me, I thought he was Leicester's best player. Maybe the goalkeeper as well had a good game, but outfield wise, I thought Tielemans was the only one that gave a shit for Leicester really at times. But look, I'm not here to talk about Leicester. I'm here to talk about Newcastle United. Newcastle United through to the semi-finals. There will be a live stream tomorrow where we will find out. We will discover who Newcastle United will be facing. Will it be Manchester United? They have beaten Charlton this evening. Southampton, Manchester City, and Wolves travel to Nottingham Forest. They play tomorrow evening. Our man of the match.
Come on, Southampton. Come on.
Our man of the match is either Joelinton or Bruno. So we'll leave it up to you in the comments. Actually, go on, Carl. I'll let you decide. Joelinton or Bruno, quickly. Joelinton gets the nod by Carl. So Joelinton is Newcastle Fans TV man of the match. So
you beat a Wakefield for that. You beat a Wakefield for that prime drink.
Carl, come closer.
You beat a Wakefield. You beat a Wakefield, haven't you?
We'll leave that one for another day, I think. Yeah, we'll leave that one for another day. Yeah, so will be a live stream for the Cup draw tomorrow, and then it's Fulham on Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff. The Premier League, Newcastle's high-flying Mags, can they continue their good run? Can they stay in third place, believe it or not? Who knows? Big thanks to Lee, big thanks to Liam, and a big thanks to Mark on his debut. Give him some nice comments in the comment section. That would be greatly appreciated. From a very, very happy Newcastle United office, Newcastle Fans TV office, if you like. We'll see you all very soon.